and welcome to the East County Football Preview. Dave, it's our first show of the previews of all of our teams. It's officially football season. I think today's the day. I'm going to call it today the official start of football season. And look who it is. The champs are here. The champs are here. The Granite Hills Eagles, Dave, the champion, the East County champions. Let's just face it, huh? From not even a half a year ago. So they're revved up and ready to go. We got them on kind of early. We're going to get through these teams over the next couple of weeks, but we know a lot of these guys already. I mean, they lost some guys, but some veteran experience coming back, joining us today. Up top, Dave, veterans. These are all veterans, Zach Burton and Tanner Vielguth. And also joining us, Jaquayle Hodges, and over there, ninth-year head coach, Kellan Cobbs. He's joining us as well. Dave, thanks for getting the Eagles. I got a lot of Eagles on this screen, Dave.
You know what? And you're the Helix man that's the odd man out. But we won't get into that. This is a little tongue-in-cheek. And, you were saying baseball, it's football season and everything. But really, Tanner's coming off of quite a great year himself. And the Eagles really made some noise on the baseball diamond as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll ask you, Dave. I'm going to ask you in the middle of the show maybe what you think. I mean, look at Tanner. He's kind of showing off there a little bit, I think. But we're going to ask you, Dave. I'm going to ask you because you've seen them both on the football field and the baseball field, which direction you think Tanner's headed. But let's talk about, we could spend the first several minutes of this show talking about last season, but that's not what this is all about. We're going to quiz these guys on who they know, even though we've only been out there for, a few weeks, kind of. Well, we know our guys. So, Dave, the Eagles coming off that championship season. Let's have a go with these guys.
Yeah, especially, at least, they didn't have to play in a bubble or anything, but, the way that the season started off and the way, we had to deal with it. They had to deal with it. Some players that had to skip the football season or they had to leave the football season early because of other obligations to other sports. Some of them even playing basketball and baseball. I know that Tanner, you guys know all about that. And, it's just an avalanche of sports, if you will, last year. How we all got through it, I have no idea, but we did. And like I said, again, the Eagles athletics department as a whole was very successful in a shortened year that was sped up at 100 miles an hour in reality. And before we got into this, what we're going to do this season, I love this highlight. I wish we had it, Ramon, and that was the one of the best plays still that I believe it was. I think it was Steel Canyon, and it was the one that Justice threw to Zach, uncovered, and you just went pretty much stomping into the end zone untouched, and no one was picking up on that play.
Yeah.
Zach, tell us about let's wrap up last season a little bit, because what a memory. Look, you guys got the target on your backs now, but at least for this moment, hey, we can all say it. The champs are here. Zach, tell us about the incredible season and maybe how it's affecting your guys' preparation going in. Dave talked about 100 miles a minute. Maybe things are kind of slowing down for you guys a little bit. Some key positions need to be replaced, but certainly that championship experience has to make you guys feel good getting started out there.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I think, this is just one of many to come, especially here in this organization, even when me and Tanner leave. But, we're losing some key guys, Justice and stuff. But I really think we're going to pick up just, where we left off and keep going, like you said, 100 miles an hour. And, I don't think we're going anywhere as an organization in East County.
Tanner, the memories of that season. Hey, the baseball season notwithstanding, right? That's a lot of winning you did.
Yeah, it's a lot of winning.
this spring. So how are things working out for the Eagles? How are you guys feeling as champs? Is there an air of confidence when you guys are working out right now, or are there enough new guys that you got to kind of show them the way?
It makes us work harder. Yep, for sure. We love to be champs so we can work harder.
Dave, Kellan's not with us yet. He's probably getting settled. Here he comes. But I was going to try to squeeze in another question about hard work before Coach came back. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I just think I just want to reiterate how great. I mean, Zach said it best. I mean, they're just going to pick up where they left off. You know, they did lose a couple of seniors, a couple of key seniors, but I think that with the amount of reps that they were able to have on their second team, because they were up on a lot of their opponents, especially in league play, they were able to, I would say, get more practice time than a lot of other teams and get a real good look at their depth. And I'm sure you can vouch for that, Zach, that the depth and the playing time is definitely going to help in making the transition to this season.
Yeah, you know, with that long off season that everybody had, you know, I think we really found our true selves. And yeah, like you said, a bunch of guys were able to get reps last year, which is absolutely amazing. And it's definitely gonna, I think, give us the edge over a lot of our opponents this year that maybe didn't play a lot last year in the, you know, short game periods, and were in a lot of close games where they only had, you know, maybe 20 guys. But for us, it was our whole team. We all pulled together and we all pulled our weight. And I think that's really gonna make us successful.
Coach, how much confidence can it have? The incredible season, really, the momentum must be just still going. I mean, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's hard. You got to turn a page. This is a new group of kids. We haven't really won anything yet with this group, but one thing we're really excited about is the amount of experience and depth that we got some of these kids some playing time last year. And we really kind of treated spring season as spring football. Got a lot of kids playing times, got some backups, you know, some quality minutes. And I feel like we're walking right into the season much further ahead than we normally are. You know, got a lot of pieces back on our offensive line, got some receivers back, a lot of our defensive guys back. So even though we're a little bit younger team, I think we're a little bit more experienced. And, you know, these three guys have been basically 4-year varsity football players for us. So we're going to count on these guys to kind of, you know, reset, turn the page, new season, new group, and then hopefully, you know, have the same outcome with the league championship.
Yeah, and I have a first round question for Jaquayle too. For you to be selected to be with us on this show. I mean, I think you're a little bit hungrier than, I'm not saying all the veterans, but you have something to prove. It's something we wanted to see it. You didn't get to maybe show what we were hoping to see. So I'm sure you're hoping and working hard for big things. Oh, Jaquayle, are you hearing me? Oh,
I think he's trying to get back on. I think
Okay.
he heard what you said, but he's probably trying to get back on.
no problem. Go ahead, Dave. We can start a second round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, what would you say, Tanner, is probably the toughest spot as compared to last year, though, that you're going to be able to or need to be focused in, honed in on, as far as maybe not so much a hold, but where we need to kind of get a little more focus and get up to speed?
I think everyone can use a little bit of focus and can always get better. But we got a pretty good line, I think, this year. Very confident about our line this year.
And it's funny you say that because I mean you've always had a pretty good offensive line, but it's usually and I was going to ask about that next is the defensive line has been there for I don't know how many years now. I mean, you guys are famous for having some great pass rushers over the years coming off the edge. You know, maybe Zach, you'd like to chime in on that.
Yeah, well, we had, you know, my two brothers came here and, you know, they kicked butt and, you know, did it absolutely amazing for themselves. And also, you know, they had Tyler Gonzalez and Garrett Curran. there's absolute animals inside as well. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, a D-line's been a staple here, and I think it's definitely going to keep continuing on.
Jaquayle, did you hear my question from the first round? I just want to know, I think we're looking for big things. You're on this panel for a reason. I mean, you're expected to do some big things. Maybe we didn't get to see the real Jaquayle out there last season, so you got to be coming in hungry. Oh, we're still not getting audio from her. Okay. Go ahead, Dave.
I was going to actually throw it back over at Coach and kind of focus in on something that really not too many coaches focus in on, and that's when you have a departure of one of your coaching staff, which I know you wish him well because you told me so yourself, and we had him on earlier about 2 weeks ago with Charles Bussey coming back from Valhalla, and then Mr. Holmes heading over to Grossmont to coach up the Hillers. How do you feel the spot, and what do you think of him getting such a great opportunity?
To me?
Yeah, that's you, Coach.
For Coach Kellan, Dave?
Yes.
You cut out there for a second.
Oh, yeah, Coach Kellan. Did you hear him, Coach Kellan? He was asking about.
You cut out for a second. I think you're asked.
Yeah, asking about Chris. Ask about
Coach
Chris
Holmes. Yes, we're super excited for him. Obviously super excited for him. He's wants to be a head coach. That was his goal when he came over to us as an assistant coach from Helix. Was just to get some experience with some other programs. He worked a long time with Coach Starr. Worked for 4 years with me. So we wish him success. We hope he does really well every week, but week 9. So he brought a couple assistant guys over with him, and I think he's going to do a really, really good job over there once he kind of gets settled in. I think there's been so many coaching changes this offseason. It's really tough on those guys being so late. I think Sarah just hired a coach like today, and today was the first day of football. So I think COVID's trickled over a little bit just in terms of how late some of these guys are able to get in. I know Bussey came back just about 2 weeks ago, and was like, Chris called me the other day. He's like, I'm still trying to figure out jerseys and gear and where everything's at, and we're already, going with football season. So, tough situation, but I think they're going to do a good job over there, and he's a great guy, so I wish him a lot of success.
Right, Dave. That was so unfair of us. That was so unfair of us. We had Coach Bussey and Coach Holmes on about 10 days ago, and being the guy that I want to know some guys already, and these guys probably don't even have a roster yet. They're still sticking tape on the helmets with the guys' names, and I'm trying to pull some names out of them. So, hey, Jaquayle, I see you smiling over there. You can hear me now, right, sir?
Yeah, it's fine. Right now.
Great. I would say, looking up and down the talent on this roster, I vote you as the hungriest of all the Eagles. Tell me about what you're expecting to do this season.
Yeah, man, my expectations is to come out 100%, just ready to dog anybody. My whole mentality changed after my injury. So I'm just ready, hungry.
To miss those games that you did in that shortened season, just tell us emotions from a player. You're a part of this team. I mean, you're a champion. You've got the patch on your jacket. I mean, everyone knows what you mean to this team just because you weren't able to participate. So what's it like, honestly, from a perspective of a player that didn't get to show his talents in a championship season? Jaquayle, be honest with me, please.
Mm-hmm. No matter what, I'm always going to lead, either on the field or off the field. If my team needs me, I'm willing to step in to help us win. But, yeah, I'm just cheering on for us.
Great. Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's coming off of an injury like that and watching your team from the sidelines and watching them, win a championship, basically. I mean, you still are. I'm sure all of your teammates appreciated you, and I know that they didn't look at you as just a cheerleader, but I'm sure that they appreciated you propping them up every time they made a great play. Every time you guys scored, I'm sure you were in the game and focused at all times, just in case. That's one of the number one things when you have an injury like that. You want to definitely heal up, but you want to stay in the game. You want to stay focused so you can be ready to go.
Yeah, sure thing. When Jaquayle was on the field, hey, look, I mean, scored that touchdown against El Cap and came back and played against Helix, right? So that's what, I don't know how else to say it. That's what sucked about having just a 6-game season. So we got a great, well, I don't know how to say this, Coach. I don't know. I know that, we're in this 3-opponent league. I don't know who made this schedule, Dave. I can only imagine, with regret for Coach Cobbs, not that it's not a great schedule. It's just so interesting, Dave. I believe that the Eagles are going to play their first 4 games at home, play 5 games on the road, including 2 out-of-towners. That, let's hope and pray that we get to fulfill this whole schedule as we do, and then that Week 9 game. So, Coach, how did this come about? We're hosting Poway in the opener. We've always wanted to see Granite and Poway kind of meet regularly. And then nice home games, Valhalla, Madison, Eastlake. Then the road games, though. The league games are last, at Grossmont, at Steele versus Helix. But the 2 interesting games that I want to know about are at Walden Grove, Arizona, and against St. Francis of La Cañada. But just how did you end up with 4 road games, 5 home games in a row?
Hot. Very hot.
Oh, Kellan.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it wasn't planned to be that way. Unfortunately had, some contracts that some local teams didn't want to renew. And, we ended up having to go out of town and find some good football teams. So, we found Walden Grove, who's one of the best teams down in the Tucson area. And then St. Francis is a private school up in Pasadena. So, excited about the opportunity to go out of town, give these guys an out-of-town experience. We're going to go out, travel to Arizona, hopefully catch the ASU game the day after, and be able to do a little bit more than just football. So, very, very difficult schedule up front. We got Eastlake and Poway in our first 4 games, and both those teams didn't lose a game last year. So, we got to be ready to go from day one. This third time in 4 years we played Poway. So, we're familiar. Both those games, the last time we played were, right down to the last couple minutes of the game, 1-score game. So we're excited about testing ourselves. We picked up Lincoln in the scrimmage. I'm sure everybody's seen how many players they've got over the last couple weeks, and we got dudes coming from everywhere. So my theory is challenge ourselves early, get ourselves ready to go win a league championship, and then once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. And being a D1 school, you're already there. So might as well challenge yourself and try and play some of the best teams from around.
Coach, how many other times how many other times have you taken the team out of town like this? I'm not on back-to-back week. I'm just saying in general. Do you recall? Was it a handful?
This will be the first time we've gone out of state that I did in my 10 years. Mm-hmm. So, it's not a common thing. We were scheduled to drive to Lakeside, and unfortunately that one didn't work out. So we're going to go take a trip to Tucson and have some fun with it.
I think it's exciting.
Hopefully come back with a W.
It's a tough schedule, Dave. We'll ask these guys about what they think, or maybe they don't even pay attention. Maybe I just sprang it on them. I'm sure they know a little bit about the logistics of that schedule, Dave, but I think it's awesome. Go ahead.
I think, I guess I'll direct this one at Tanner. I mean, you win enough times, you win a championship, even in a shortened season. You did so well year before, and you pretty much had a winning season for the last several years. I mean, that does put a target on your back, and a lot of those teams don't want to renew the contract because they frankly don't want to get beat. You can't blame them, but at the same time, you think they'd want to challenge as well. And, with coach setting up the schedule and looking for teams to play because of that, what are your thoughts on playing those tougher teams and being so challenged?
We got a big target on our back down here in East County. I say we make it bigger and go all the way out to Arizona and put a target on our back.
Absolutely.
Zach, do you guys did you follow that at all when you saw the schedule, when they hand out the piece of paper? Do you guys because you guys just want to play, so it doesn't matter. In fact, if I were a student and I got to take back-to-back trips out of town at my senior year to play some football, I'd be pretty stoked.
No, yeah, I think we're definitely all excited, but I think it does go to show that, nobody in San Diego, I don't think, really wants to play us. So, I think that's awesome for us, and it's an awesome experience for me and some of the, like you said, the other guys to just, go out and have fun, our last year. And, I know we have a big target on our backs and we like it that way. And some teams don't want to renew stuff, but, we're going to go out there. We're going to, I think we're going to really be successful. So,
yeah, you guys don't worry about that. You leave that for coach to worry about. Dave?
Oh, I was going to say, Mr. Hodges, I'm sure that's going to be a great challenge also for yourself coming back and facing that kind of adversity. But that's what you want to go out, and I'm sure you want to face that type. And, it's definitely I would even go out on a limb and say, you're getting up at the stages of, where Helix has been for many years. They were going out of town quite often. They were playing those top-seeded teams, those real good D1 teams out of state. And this might be a new reality for the Eagles.
Yeah. Every year we're like the underdog team. So it's good to go against those top teams that are ranked higher than us and putting a whooping on them and just seeing their reaction. Nobody really expects it. So we like doing that a lot. And it just sets higher bars for us, training harder, We like that competition.
Yeah, you guys aren't gonna sell me on this one. I mean, the Eagles are. I've got to put the Eagles as favorites until further notice, until they're knocked off the perch. But maybe that's just trying to brush aside the fact that they were the undefeated champions last year of the league, and much success came because of the leadership that they had on this club, Dave. I don't think, Coach, just looking back one more time, but I just want to know, because they're getting ready, they're rolling up there at Southwest Missouri State. But have you ever seen, to me, the incredible leadership that came from Justice? I don't know if I've seen someone with that type of leadership, given the circumstances that not only your team was placed in, but just the football players in general, just owning up to the whole situation, accepting the pandemic delay for what it was worth. He was one of the most out front guys out there, showing that, let's be ready, let's continue to work out. And the guys can back us up on that, about the kind of work that they went through. But to me, it was that kind of leadership, and your other senior leaders as well, that made that whole situation come to fruition. I'm not saying that the Eagles weren't favored to win the whole thing last year, but just heading into the season, it just felt like this was a situation that could end in the Eagles' favor. At least that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think those guys really pushed us to try and do better. I know there's a few times in there as a coaching staff, we even thought about kind of shutting it down a little bit. And all these guys, from top to bottom, our seniors, our juniors, our sophomores, even some of the incoming freshmen we had, they wanted to keep going. So we kept practicing, and I think it definitely paid off for us. One, for last year, obviously, I mean, ended up 5-1 winning the league. But for this year, I think we're even further ahead because of how much time we got to put in last year and how late it trickled into the season. Like you guys said, I felt like we just got done. So, ended up at the end of April and basically picked right back up 6 weeks later. So I think that situation of all those guys' leadership, you guys talked about Justice. Obviously, he was one of the biggest pieces, but there was a lot of guys from top to bottom, seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, all the way from the top to the bottom of the roster that put in a lot of work, and kept pushing us as a staff to keep grinding through that, those uncertain times we had last year.
Yeah, Coach, that's something I don't want to, keep beating a dead horse, but that's exactly, I think, what was the beauty of the whole season when it really comes down to it, was that extra time and in the scores of a lot of those games that you had the ability to put your second and third string guys in there and get them some play time and really get a good look at their performance and how they would perform under pressure, against the first team like that. I think that pretty much puts you maybe even a couple steps ahead of a lot of teams out there, and especially in the Grossmont Conference.
Yeah, I hope so. That was the plan going into it last year. Obviously, we knew there was no, CIF playoffs or championship games, so wanted to get guys some reps. I think a few of the guys in the room right now were a couple times throughout the season maybe a little frustrated with how much we were getting certain players some reps, but I think now they are hopefully realizing that some of those kids in those key positions, right, are a lot further ahead than I think they would have been if they didn't get any playing time. So, we're got some guys ready to step up. I know you guys talked a little bit about Hodges. We're excited to have him healthy. I think he showed an abundance of toughness last year. You guys talked about being able to get through one half of football against Helix, and I think he was somebody that helped make a huge difference for us in that game. Played with a torn, basically, meniscus that whole season. So we're excited to have him back, have him healthy. He got it pretty much taken care of right at the end of the year and right after that game. So on track to have him back for the majority of the year, and we're excited for him to be able to get loose and run behind Zach Tanner and the rest of the gang up front. And we're really excited about direction of our team. So,
well, Dave, let's have one more. It looks like you might have another question, but if not, I'm ready to go. And Zach and Tanner were kind of chuckling there when Coach talked about those reps, but that's because I want to start to get into hearing about some of the teammates that they know they're going to contribute this year, Dave. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just one more question for Coach. It's something typically I'm highly interested in, because I think a lot of times how we win these close games, and even a game against Poway the last time we played them, is it comes down to good special teams play, and that's what I was going to ask Coach about, what he has seen and what his thoughts are on the special teams that he has, the group that he has to work with this year.
Yeah, so luckily, Zach and Tanner actually have been around for a while now. They're both of our long snappers. So, key position, getting the ball there first, being able to get it back there. But we do have, some open competition at our kickoff position, our PAT field goal spots, and our punt team. Graduated some key guys in those areas. But one of the good things is, with Chris leaving, I'm going to step back in and start calling plays again. And I gave up the special teams abilities and some special teams units. So hopefully those guys will, those coaches will do a good job, get those guys squared away and be sound on special teams. That's always what we're looking for.
Hey, Zach and Tanner, I know you've been out there just really one day, but you know who these guys are. You've been working with them all summer. So who'd you see today out there? Who do you expect? Maybe start on the offensive side of the line, and then maybe give me some defensive players as well. We know that if anything, maybe the Eagles have some spectacular returning guys on offense, maybe a few spots to replace. So the defensively, yes, some guys were lost, but there is some real good returning guys as well on defense, your teammates. Zach or Tanner, or both of you can kind of contribute back and forth. Give me some of those names.
I'll do the defensive guys. Tanner can do the offensive.
Love these
I
guys.
think really, we're going to have some – what are you saying?
It says, great. You take over, please.
I think, we're going to have Carter Braun on the defensive line with us this year, and he's an absolute playmaker out there. And Logan Ransdell and Alex and Moshi. Our D line is going to be phenomenal. And then also our secondary, we're going to have, Joaquin Thomas is just an absolute baller. And he's one of the best players I've ever seen. And, I think we all really feed off each other really well. And, the leadership's there, the experience is there on our defensive side. And I think we're going to pick up just where we left off.
Yeah, and with the defense being so good, the offense gets even better on that side of the ball. So on the line, we got 2 seniors, is me and our center Blast, and then we got 2 sophomores at our guard spot. You got Blue and Moshi, and then our junior at Eric Delgado. But I gotta say, being my 4 years at Granite Hills, this is the biggest line I've ever had. That's for sure.
Well, not only that's probably the case, but Coach Cobbs, they got it all right. I'm going to hire Tanner as my hype man.
Yeah. It's good. It's Tanner was 2 years ago, I think, our biggest lineman at 250, and he's still at 250. Now he's our smallest lineman. So that's a good sign when one of our best 3-year starters is not even the biggest kid in our offensive line. He's the most technical kid and probably the toughest kid, but we got some definite dudes up front. So we're excited about their ability and what they're able to do.
And Jaquayle, you're a playmaker. We all know that, and we want to see the best of you. Do you and Joaquin make the best 1-2 combination in the East County this year? Playmaking ability?
Yeah, man, we're about to be the best duo out there. We both have kind of the same mindset. We both have that little hungry hunting mentality to go out there and do our best.
And Jaquayle, Coach Cobbs said he's kind of relinquishing some of the special teams duties. I know that you can return, but your health, given the situation, I mean, it was really just in spring when you have fought through this injury. I mean, it's September now, and we're talking about games that were played, back in March and April. So will you handle any return duties, and how is your overall health? Do you plan on playing a full game, for example, or do you need certain breaks or rest? How's your overall health with your injury?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to return a lot this year. My health is doing pretty good. I'm just trying to work at building back the strength into my knee. But running and cutting, I'm getting there, getting my speed back up, so I should be 100% by the season.
And Dave, I'll leave it to you to ask about the quarterback situation, because we saw Tomasello in there do quite well in his moments, and we know that the Eagles might have quarterbacks of the future as well. So, Dave, just your overall feeling of that whole situation last year. We talked about with Justice, and there's obviously going to be a little bit of transition, but there is experience there.
Yeah, there is, and then there's even hindsight a little further down that Justice's little brother is not exactly a little brother, as I have seen anyway. He's growing pretty quick, so I could see him taking the reins eventually. But yeah, I think that they're going to be good at the quarterback position, not only this year, but I think they're going to be good probably for the next 4 or 5 years in reality. And I think it's not only the play of the quarterback, but they have some great receivers, great hands, and they just keep producing those offensive lines that are pretty quick and know how to play offensive line correctly and without injuring themselves, which we all know you keep those feet moving, and it's all about that footwork, or you might not be so lucky to play the whole season. So it's definitely an overlooked position, I would say.
Yeah, well, Zach, Coach bumped off with us, so here he comes. I don't know if we wanted to kind of maybe ask Coach about the quarterback situation. Not to put the boys on the spot at this point, but that's something that I don't know. As football reporters, Coach, we want to know about quarterback situation. Tomasello was great. Dave talked about Justice's brother. What's going on? Do you know yet? What's going to happen in practice? We got a month yet. Catching up, Coach Cobbs. Eh?
Sorry, guys, my phone's out here. No.
Oh, all right.
Well, I
go ahead.
did want to throw that while he's frozen. I wanted to throw in that caption we have down on the bottom. Montel Allen from the SDFNL saying Granite Hills is running the East County right now. Helix not running the table anymore. The East County champs run through Granite Hills High School. I'm sure you guys are happy to hear that.
Yes, we are.
Definitely.
All right, Coach Kellan's back, I think, with us. Give him a second here, maybe. Coach Cobbs?
Sorry, guys. I don't know. My phone's like super cutting out right now for some reason. But I think you guys are talking about quarterback situation. We got two guys back that are both juniors. Nico Tomasello, who got quite a bit of reps last year. Big, strong kid with a strong arm. Lance Rogers, who's a little bit more of a running quarterback that we've had in the past, but is also doing a good job with the offense. So I think both those guys will be in good hands. Little McComb is settled in Oklahoma. I think you guys were trying to talk about that a little bit. But, they moved a little bit closer, to where Justice will be playing. So it'll be those two guys that we're rolling with. We're excited about both of them. I think there's going to be a chance to be a recruitable kid. So, so hopefully everybody stays healthy and have a good year.
Zach, is that the way you see it right now? Quarterback?
Yeah, I think I think Nico is an excellent QB, and so as well as Lance. I think Nico did get some reps last year, and he definitely is hungry to make a name for himself as another great quarterback in Granite Hills history, and he has a couple more years here as well, and I think he's really gonna show off this year, and then just keep riding that wave into his senior year next year, and just be an absolute baller.
Coach, do you think that there could possibly be a switch up, like maybe a little playing time for each one of them, or is that going to be come game time, or we'll see what happens throughout the season?
Sorry, my wife was looking.
I'll ask Tanner, what do you think? Do you think maybe both of those quarterbacks might get a shot? Maybe switch it up, maybe for different formations?
Yeah, I think they both have a lot of potential, but I think Nico's gonna be our for sure starter this year, and we're excited to see where he goes.
Perfect. And Jaquayle, what about that offense of last year? Great balance with this team. Definitely, maybe I was kind of hinting at it. Maybe an area where we need to shore up. I don't know if maybe a little bit in pass catching, a little bit. Maybe Zach can add to that a little bit. Comment on that. But what do you see as far as receiving core is concerned, Jaquayle?
We got some nice receivers. I feel like Nico has a good arm. He can get back there. He's a passing quarterback, so he throws a lot of dimes. Our pass protection is really good, and I'm looking to get a little receptions too. I'm looking forward to playing a lot of positions this year: defense, receiver, just getting out there in whatever way to help my team.
Ramon, Coach Kellan just texted me. He's having a little technical difficulty, so I think we're done with Coach for the evening. But
No, we might be done with all of our guys. I think we did a pretty good job. I just want maybe Zach could touch a little bit too on passing game a little bit. Do you think that that's somewhere? Obviously we lost a talented receiver as well. So, what are we going to see as far as balance? You think with the Eagles this year? Did you think that the balance was there last year, and that was why maybe we had the great offensive success that we did?
Oh. Light shut off here. There you go. I think
If that happened, I would have it. I would quit. Go ahead, brother.
No, I think we're gonna have some real solid dudes. We actually have obviously Jaquayle and Joaquin and myself, and also our new guy Corey. But yeah, I think Nico's gonna do, and our wide receiver core is gonna be absolutely fine this year, and definitely, nothing to worry about. Everything could be touched up maybe here or there, but we just we're a little rougher on the edges, but once we polish up and by game time, we'll be solid.
Hey, Tanner, Jaquayle mentioned the positions that he likes to play. How do you envision him as an offensive player? Is he someone who is a slot player, a wide receiver, a backfield runner, or does he have that type of versatility where he can line up just anywhere? And maybe you can mention that about Thomas as well, because obviously his versatility, one of the offensive players of the year, certainly last year with his, average like 70 yards a game rushing, 10 total touchdowns. So tell me about how those two guys work together and where they appear in the offense.
Yeah, I think Jaquayle can play anywhere he wants with our line this year. Yep. And then Nico, he's going to have a lot of time in the pocket for sure. Yep, he should be sitting pretty in the pocket.
Oh, Tanner, you're too much. I love this. I love Tanner. I got to tell you.
Hey, like I said, he did not only football. He's coming off of some. I can still hear him and James Davis and the rest of them. You could probably hear them all over El Cajon because that was huge. I just wanted to touch on that again, just real quickly. How great the fans were for you, and how big that played. And a couple of your guys, including Mr. Smith, he was talking about how great it was to have the home crowd behind the team, and they'd been louder than they've been all season, and it really did make an impact. And just to have a win like that and have it roar like that, it's hard to even describe how great it was.
And nothing. There's no better feeling than that. Yeah, that was a very, very, very cool feeling.
Well, Dave, I said later in the show I would ask you about Tanner. We'll pin him down to give us what he plans to do or what he's working on. It's a long school year, right? So we're going to see him again throughout the year in baseball too. So, Dave, what do you see for Tanner before he kind of tells us what? He's looking big and strong. He's looking like a lineman. He's talking up a big game with his pass blocking and run blocking. What do you think, Dave?
I say that sometimes looks could be deceiving. I think he also has the love of baseball, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was also heavily recruited as a baseball player as well.
Tanner, you're just going to take these this school year and how it comes, or do you focus on one or the other eventually?
We're going to see where we end up at the end of the school year.
I like that. Coach, we won't keep you for too much longer. Sorry if our technical problems have kind of kept you out of the loop. Fortunately, you got these three veterans that can guide us along, and they're going to guide you guys along. So you can kind of wrap up with us if you want so that we don't have to keep adding you back in. But,
Sorry.
We want to know, certainly, Dave, if you have any more questions for Coach Cobbs.
No, I just wish you guys all the best. And as we can't, being reporters, can't be too favorable, but when you are an alumni yourself, I do wish you guys a great season, and especially a healthy season. I think that's what matters most. I mean, you want to definitely win and get into the playoffs, but we want to stay healthy as we can all season long.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Coach Kellan, like we said, with that schedule, it's. I guess in departing, I just want to know that tough stretch though. The 5 games, including the 2 road trips. I know it's by chance. I know it's not something you don't set out to do. What kind of obstacles does it present a coaching staff? Especially when we get to that point. I mean, the situation. The problem is it heads right into league, right?
Yeah, so luckily we have the bye week between the 2 long trips, so they're not, necessarily back to back. The Arizona trip that allows us to spend a little time out there on a Saturday and have some fun with our kids and take a little bit extra time getting back because we don't necessarily have to, immediately get back and prepare for a game that next Friday. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Even we start with Otay on the road and we don't even know where that game's at because they're still working on a field. So. It's going to be an interesting, 5 games in a row there on the road. But, I think our kids are tough. They can handle adversity. And we luckily we get to end it at home with hopefully playing for a league championship against Helix High School. So, trying to end the season off on a good note. And, the way it shook out is the way it shook out. So, the way it shook out is, because of that basically 6 week off period there, we'll have Eastlake at home for homecoming. So, no bigger. I think they might be one of I personally think they're probably the best team on our schedule right now. So, it'll be a huge test for us, for these guys, these seniors on homecoming, and, try and go get some wins.
Yeah. And Zach, not to ever discredit that incredible season, but that's what you and Tanner are talking about, right? The hunger, because there was no playoffs. You still have something to prove to yourselves and to everybody else on the football field, I imagine.
Yeah, I think we've proved to ourselves that we can. We're one of the best teams out here. But I think we're underestimated, but that that's fine. We like that, and we're always gonna go out there and give it our all. And honestly, I can't wait for this year. And I think I speak for Tanner as well. And we have a fire under our bellies and a big target on our back, but that's perfect for us. I think we definitely thrive under that pressure.
All right, Dave, we'll let these guys go. They did a great job. Jaquayle, thanks to him as well, and Coach Cobbs, and of course, Zach Burton, Tanner Vielguth of the Granite Hills Eagles, the champion Granite Hills Eagles, until further notice. Dave, let me pop Jaquayle back in here just to say goodbye to him as well. Thanks, guys. Great job. I hope you have a better season than the producer of this show did, getting off to a rough start. Good thing these guys saved it for us, Dave. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.